back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. My name's Chad.
I'm Alana.
And we are
The Bushbirds.
Hey, come sit with us, huh? At our cafe. What do you think? Look, this hot coffee, people's coffee over there getting...
Where y'all at? You left your coffee here.
Yeah, it's hot right now, but it's going to get cold. Was it something we said?
Where'd you go?
Yeah, it's nice and rainy outside today. It's raining here too, or will be.
Yeah.
It's been raining a lot lately. We needed it because our plants were dying. We bought a mulberry tree, planted it outside.
And it stopped. No rain for 2 months.
For 2 months. And then the leaves it had some kind of fungus from where we got it. The leaves were rotting. So, but it looks great now.
Yeah, she's cute.
Got out there and breathed on her every day. Please, please.
That's what did it. Have y'all had mulberries? Apparently the trees grow abundantly. You get a lot of fruit, right? Once they actually start fruiting.
A multitude of fruit. So it's been a while. We've been gone. We've been, we got some news for you at the end. Stay tuned. We're making some changes, a few changes. Not anything major, but a few. We've been through some stuff and whatnot, but we'll talk about that at the end. First, we want to get to, hey, a lot of things have happened, right?
Yeah.
A lot of things have happened.
A lot of things and a lot of nothing at the same time.
A lot of nothing. Yeah. It's kind of like, is it going anywhere? Lena, let's go over here. Let me see. Let me make sure I've got the right.
Can you still do this?
Oh, I got to turn your thing on. Hold on. There you are.
Oh, hey, I'm here too.
You're part of the show now. All right, check it out. Look, while we're over here, we got coffee cups still. Boom. Oh, let's view all of them. Oh, lots of them. Shimmy, folks.
Oh, yeah.
Shimmy.
Don't forget about the shimmy.
That's right. Oh, yeah, we'll do that in a second. Of course, we got an Amazon store. I just want to show this so we can close it out real quick. If you're interested, go check that out. Links in the description, of course, always. All right, let's go back over. And let's do the shimmy.
Good morning, shimmy.
It's been a while.
How have you been? What have you been doing?
It's really weird because it's been a few months since we've been on here. So, like, we had to relearn what lights to turn on, what to do. You know, Lena had to relearn how to put on makeup.
Yeah, I haven't worn makeup in like 3 months. I was like, wait, what order does this go?
I kind of let myself go, as you can tell. Oh man, it's gonna be awesome to be back though. We're excited. We've been working on a lot of other stuff too. You know, we've done a lot of work on another channel that we're about to start. 2 more channels, and we've been behind the scenes just kind of relearning a bunch of stuff and whatnot. But we'll go into that in a little bit.
We've missed you.
We've very much missed you, but we're back. So let's go in here and start talking about stuff. So obviously there was a settlement, right? It was weird. It was weird. I will start here by saying this, right? One day we were doing a video and something struck me. I was cussing. I was talking, saying a lot of bad things about Blake and Ryan and just talking shit, just calling them names. And something like slapped me right in the face, it felt like. And I can't remember what episode, but I was just like, oh. And then
more recent, I think.
Yeah. And the rest of the episode was just kind of me like trying to figure out what just happened. And everything kind of started going downhill from there. We started getting kind of sick. I hurt my arm. We got to where we couldn't sleep at night. We started taking a bunch of stuff to try to help us sleep. Nothing was helping, blah, blah, blah. But one morning, I woke up and I started praying. Something said, pray. Basically we've turned our life over to Jesus. We'll just go ahead and get that out of the way, over to God. So if you don't like that, you might as well get on out of here now. But I woke up one morning and it was just like, man, we'd gone through some times. We couldn't sleep. It got to the point where it was like, look, I just want to die because I can't, both of us were
exhausted.
Just so exhausted. And so it's such a thing. And something said, pray for Ryan and Blake. So I did. Okay. Then I go in and I wake her up and I tell her about it. And she said, that's weird. I prayed for him right before I went to bed last night. Something said the same thing to me. Then she said she had a dream where she was sitting at a table, right? Mm. And Hugh Jackman was there and Ryan. Blake,
I was talking to Ryan Reynolds in my dream.
Yeah, and Blake wasn't there, right?
No.
And he looked at you and said, I just don't want to do this anymore.
Right.
And somebody reached over and patted him on the back. I can't remember.
Yeah,
exactly.
I don't think it was me, but
yeah, somebody
I may have. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. Dreams.
That very evening, she told me that dream in the morning. I was like, whoa. That very evening, one of our buddies, Asshole Media, got in contact with Alana Appreciate you, Asshole Media, by the way. She's kept in contact with us, Jesse. And told Alana they settled. So that was a weird dream to have right before that. And something said, pray for him, because it's like, we've been sitting here talking smack about these people the whole time and kind of ignoring Justin Baldoni and his faith. He's such a beautiful person. We've looked through his history, tried to find some stuff wrong with him.
Well, even he was praying for them during the whole thing.
Yeah.
Before the lawsuit even, right?
Yeah.
He was telling people, I just keep praying for them because that's all he knew to do.
Doing the right thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we just kind of went down the trail of talking smack about them and ignoring the fact that he was doing the right thing the entire time. And I'm sure he got a laugh out of some of the stuff we said, but at the same time, he was doing the right thing. So we were really inspired by that, right? And really we should lean into that. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. We're not going to have a lot to talk about as far as Blake and Justin goes from now on, because it's kind of almost over.
Yeah, she's dragging it out as long as she can. But
yeah, speaking of that, let's look into it.
Yeah.
Why don't we?
Okay.
You want to? So, is Blake Lively misusing a law for sexual assault survivors to try to recoup her legal fees? This is on Megyn Kelly.
Now, I did see, I think it was Shersey that talked to the lawyer that wrote this bill.
Oh, really?
So if y'all want to go check that out, you've probably already seen it, but
yeah,
she explains it. She was on her side, right? Trying to go along with her. Now she's misusing it.
No. Right. Like, look, here's the thing. You can be wrong about things. Just walk away. She won't walk away. I know that dream told me that Ryan is the one that was like, look, I'm out. I don't want to do this anymore. And she's the one that's like, no, I'm getting my way no matter what. I'm used to getting my way. So just when you thought it was over, there is yet another twist in the Blake Lively, Justin Baldoni legal saga. They're back in court. Last month, the two sides announced a last-minute settlement, one in which Lively remarkably got absolutely nothing, but the agreement did allow her to continue to pursue attorney's fees and damages related to another part of their dispute. That caveat is thanks to a California law called the Speak Your Truth Act, which was signed by Governor Gavin Newsom back in 2023. It makes certain communications about sexual harassment privileged, which is why Baldoni had his $400 million defamation claim against Lively dismissed a year ago. But that is not all the law does. It also allows individuals sued over privileged SH communications to be paid attorney's fees and other damages, according to California Civil Code Section 47.1. We've seen that number a lot, which says a prevailing defendant in any defamation action brought against that defendant for making communication that is privileged under this section shall be entitled to their reasonable attorney's fees and costs for successfully defending themselves in the litigation, plus treble damages for any harm, treble, not base damages, for any harm caused to them by the defamation action against them, in addition to punitive damages available under Section 3294 or any other relief otherwise permitted by law.
Okay, says prevailing though.
Yeah, it also says...
Don't you have to win?
Entitled, yeah, for successfully defending themselves.
In a defamation action. She wasn't even suing them for defamation.
You didn't successfully defend yourself, actually. Lively's team has argued any fees and damages should be trebled, not base, treble, right?
Means tripled.
Trebled. Oh, yeah. Tripled. Under the California statute. All right. The controversy, let's just move on down. But it's not entirely clear that that's the case. Now she is back after having proven nothing, having willingly walked away from the entire case, having seen her SH claim case thrown out, as was his cross claim for defamation, and seeking we have no idea how much money, Megyn explained on Tuesday. So here's our video about that.
Is it still hundreds of millions probably?
Yeah, it's just, man, it's up in the air. She has nothing better to do. Quite honestly, she's just got nothing to do. Ryan's busy. Ryan kept himself busy. He's out here making movies still. He's out here making TV shows or whatever he's doing. He's off in Canada somewhere and left her at the fruit stand downtown. All right. So here's New York Post. Blake Lively is so hell-bent on justifying her perceived victimhood, she's now angered actual victims. Oh, goodness. Now,
where y'all been? They've been mad.
New York Post. Come on now.
The victims knew pretty much right away. Yeah. They recognize the behavior, right?
Absolutely. Blake Lively will concede when hell freezes over. Despite settling her contentious legal battle with Justin Baldoni just hours before she dramatically ascended the stairs at the Met Gala last month, with an army of minions to fluff her 13-foot Versace train for the cameras, the actress is still battling over damages. Also at stake, the victimhood status she so desperately craves. Right. What is
That
this?
reminds me of the Cruella
Parachute.
de Vil trash dress.
It looks like she parachuted in and is like just right to the steps and just started walking upwards. Like, oh, this is a mess.
A hot air balloon.
Yeah,
big.
what happened? There's a lot of hot air in there for sure. And she'll happily lift other people's hard work to get it. Right. On Monday, both sides argued on let's read some comments. So she's not, but the woman behind the Speak Your Truth law doesn't have kind words for Lively. Victoria Burke accuses the actress of using the legislation to mop up the mess she made of her once good name after accusing her It Ends With Us co-star Baldoni of SH in retaliation in a blockbuster lawsuit that only exposed her empty hand.
That's her right
So
there.
this is the lady. Oh, yeah. Empty hand for sure. And then she just doesn't want to give up on that. Oh, here's the comments. Janice Hart says, at least one thing is very clear. There are not going to be any more movies displaying Lively's marginal acting skills unless she produces them herself. Her legal team, who advised her she had a case, must be laughing all the way to the bank.
Right? I wonder if she's going to sue them. She seems like the type to sue her lawyers, you know.
She's going to get another team of 2,000 lawyers to fight this team of 2,000 lawyers. Michelle, or Michele maybe. As a lawyer, Ms. Burke should be more than aware that the interpretation of and use of law is malleable. Writing and introducing legislation does not give any authority in its application once passed. It is odd to me that Ms. Burke is making assumptions on who is or isn't telling the truth, especially given that the article states that in her own case, she believes she was attacked and not that she knows she was attacked. In addition, the SA part of Blake's lawsuit was thrown out due to her employment status as a contract laborer, not because it was deemed invalid.
You must not be a real lawyer because you said SA and you would know that that is extremely different than SH, spy.
Well, too, and there's a horse head, so we know who that is. Blake, is that you?
It's the diva horse.
Yeah, It's the diva horse. You know it is. HM. All right, that's Harry's mom. Everything Victoria Burke says is so spot on, especially imagine your life's work, which is ongoing, being scooped up by a beleaguered.
Beleaguered? She's not a beluga.
Beleaguered actress, so she can be the one to cross the goal line and spike the ball. It becomes her victory, her cause, her name in lights, and see more. It's pure narcissism. This is exactly what Blake tried to do with Justin Baldoni's movie, scoop up his work and spike the ball across the goal line with her name in lights. Victoria Burke nailed exactly who and what Blake is, and she is incredible for calling out the narcissist that is Blake Lively. Right.
Yeah, I think Victoria went and talked with Billy Bush and probably Megyn Kelly, so she's out there. It's not just a niche, you know. She's like, no, she's misusing this.
Yeah, she says, as the architect of the bill, I strongly believe in the constitutionality of my bill. I'm unhappy with it being weaponized as a PR redemption tool by Blake Lively and her team. Honestly, I don't think the judge should grant attorney's fees in this matter. Dang.
Yeah, and she can have her opinion.
Right.
Like anyone else.
Now let's focus on Justin for a moment and see what he's up to.
What is he doing?
In the Daily Mail. Look, there's that smile, but he still looks rough at that point because he was sick, right?
Giant size.
He looks better down here. Look at that.
There he is.
Look at that beautiful hair and that shirt.
And his hair and beard there.
Yeah. I like the shirt a lot. That texture and whatnot.
Oh, yeah. I love the mix of the textures there.
Justin Baldoni's lawyer, Brian Freeman, says the actor-filmmaker might take on an advocacy role for people who have been falsely accused of things just weeks after his legal war with Blake Lively ended with her settling. Yeah, let's not forget that. She settled. Right. And let's think about that. What does he do? Of course, the right thing. Well, I'm going to take on an he could just disappear. He moved to Nashville. He could disappear, just do whatever he wants to do at this point, chill out, relax, just make movies. But no, he's stepping out and going, you know what? This happened to me. I don't want to see it happen to other people. Let me be an advocate for those people. Wow. Justin, basically Jesus Baldoni. Let's roll. Let's roll on over and read some more. In April, a judge threw out 10 of the 13 claims Lively made in her initial filing. Wow. Such as SH, conspiracy and defamation. The two then settled 2 weeks ahead of a projected May 18th trial date. Yeah, we knew that would happen.
Yeah, there's no way she was going to go to trial. She would lose, and that would be harder to cover up.
Yeah.
She's trying to cover it by going out and doing all this PR, I'm an advocate stuff.
Yeah, but you're not. She's just really just burying herself deeper. No wonder Ryan wants to separate himself and go, no, I'm over here doing this thing. Yeah, let's read some of these comments. So he's going to be an advocate. Surely this can't drag on any longer. Mark, you're right. Happy for him, but he should make another movie so the public can make him bigger star than Ryan Reynolds used to be. Used to be, capital letters. Don't worry, he'll be bigger than Ryan. It's already happening. Ryan is nothing, and Blake will never, ever work again. And she's now suing him for damages. This woman is completely nuts. Absolutely, we believe that. They settled in a way that allowed her to upkeep that notion in court. Yeah. Team Justin, Blake is evil. Right. I am on his side, not hers. Exactly. Really sick of this lawyer running to the media with Justin's business, fueling the gossip rags. Keep it private until he's ready to share.
Well, I think
they're all kind of running.
Yeah, the attorney's not going to go out and speak if they haven't discussed it.
Exactly.
That would be not a good thing to do.
All right. So we're going to make this one quick today because it's been a while since we've been on.
Yeah, we got an appliance repair guy coming.
Yeah.
The refrigerator stopped making ice.
Sometime between 8 a.m. and 8 p.m. You know how they roll. I'll be there when I get there, son. You're on my time now. So anyway, you guys that have been here from the beginning know that we've changed a few times. At one time, we talked about politics a little bit, and then we were like, ooh, icky, we're going to stop talking about that. You notice I haven't cussed a lot in this video because, well, I've made some life changes. Like we said a little while ago, we've given our life over to God. So really, we're going to turn this channel around, and we're going to start talking about
good things.
Good things. And we're going to be interjecting a little bit more Jesus in there. So for those of you that are not into that, we love you. We're glad that you came for a little while. Glad that we got to spend some time together. Do what you need to do.
But you're welcome to stay.
You're welcome to stay. We're going to be... Now, I want to point out this. One thing that got me out of religion in the first place. Grew up Gen X, man. Gen X all the way, right? Didn't want labels. Didn't want to be... The judgment and the fear. Everywhere you went back in the day, they were preaching about fear. Fear. I remember sitting down in class one time, in art class, me and this guy, he was a Baptist. I grew up in a Pentecostal church. There's another Christian over here. There were two atheist, agnostic guy over here, right? But the
Good mix.
Yeah. Cool thing was that we were sitting there and we would debate, but we would laugh and we were all friends. Remember that? When you could debate with somebody and they wouldn't stand up and get pissed and be like, I'm not your friend anymore. We would talk about it and disagree and be like, okay, well, cool. I like your opinion. And why do you disagree? Cool. And they would say, and I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. Cool. That's your choice. But one day, so we would debate and come back the next day and be friends and blah, blah, blah. So one day the guy asked me, the guy across from me said, are you a Christian because you love Jesus or because you're afraid of going to hell? And that struck me. I was like, well, I'll need to think about that because from what I can tell, I'm just afraid of going to hell. I mean, that's what people would preach at you about.
Yeah. That's what a lot of in the South, I think, the Bible Belt preaches a lot of the,
Fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going to go to hell for everything.
Your hair's too long. You're blah, blah, blah. And my dad was kind of a preacher at one point, like a youth minister and whatnot. And I asked him, I was like, Dad, these people, if they can't relate to people like that, you look at somebody, me as a skater punk, right? I look at somebody in a shirt and tie and I just don't relate to that person,
right.
And he would always tell me, you need to read your Bible. Well, that's the important thing, right? We sat down and started reading the Bible and I looked at it and I was like, it's wild because people get freaked out about it. And really, there's just a small section of it that you really need to focus on. The history is fine. That's the Old Testament. The New Covenant is Jesus, right? And then people get confused about that, but it's really just his red letters, his words. Follow those, and I think you'll be good. And that springs out into a lot of other, what denomination, what should I? Who cares? As long as you just follow Jesus in your heart, it's good to go. We don't believe in any of this other stuff. People ask me already, what denomination are you? Look, I'm just a Christian. That's it. I don't believe in any of that jazz. I don't go to church. I don't have to. The temple was destroyed, by the way, like 2 or 3 times. God was like, look, I said I was going to do it, and you're trying to rebuild it? Nah, son. Right? And they didn't have churches back in the day. Back after Jesus died on the cross, they didn't have churches. They weren't allowed to. What was it? The first, like 30 popes were martyred, killed. Right? They were in people's houses. St. Paul went all over Greece teaching in their places of worship, right? I've already been told that I have to go to a certain particular church already, right? This is just judgment. Judgment is one of the reasons why. And we're not here to judge anybody. We're not here to preach anybody. What we're going to do is tell Bible stories and different things and make it fun, right? Make it as fun as we made the other stuff that you came here for. Yeah. Make it really enjoyable and just relax about it and put our own kind of flavor to it, our own style to it, the Bushbird style. We're going to do it Bushbird style.
Yeah.
Right.
I think you can see, I mean, like we had said earlier, Justin is inspirational. And we've talked about that this whole time. And as we were drawn into learning about this case and the injustice of it, that sort of thing just leads you down a path. And sometimes you're just led a certain way. And then good things happen.
Yeah. We've been focusing on the negative this entire time. Mm-hmm. And
well, we would try sometimes to do the positive, talk about things he was doing. And it's like, well, no one even watched it.
Yeah.
And that's where, because YouTube wants you to get views, right? And then you want them.
Yeah.
So then you're like looking at, well, if no one's going to watch it, why would I talk about it?
And we kept trying to come back and our videos would get shut off because I was still trying to go down that same path. And it reminds me of one time when I got hit by a wave when I was skimboarding or actually bodyboarding. And I got hit by a wave and it took me under the water and scooted me across the bottom of the ocean floor. And I was just, I couldn't even control it. I was just like, oh gosh, I got a scar from it, you know? Nothing. Yeah. I was like, am I going to die here? You know, that's what crossed my mind. That's what God did to me over the last few months. He just said, no, we couldn't sleep. Like I said, it was horrible. And then started praying and then just came right out of it. The mulberry tree I mentioned was dying. I went out there one morning and I sat there and I prayed over it. I said, God, I kept trying to bring it back to life. I was doing all the things that I could do to try to bring it back to life and nothing was working. I finally prayed. And that very day it rained. And the next morning, the leaves that were black, they were dark green and they had black edges and all that.
Red edges, yeah.
They had wilted and all this new like neon green leaves started coming out. And not only just one here and there, just everywhere. And that was my anchor. That was my sign right there. Yeah, this is good. This is good. This is what I need to be talking about. This is what I need to be doing. And, you know, I've been spending like a month counting the cost, like, oh, because I became friends with you people. I know it's weird, but I feel like you're my friends. And we created a relationship, and I don't want to lose anybody to talking about this, but I can't help it. It's coming out. It's just what it is. It's going to be the future, and that's what's up.
Yeah. Well, we knew we were going to have to do something because, you know, this is all we've talked about for a while, and you have to move on at some point, no matter what. It was going to end, and we didn't want to go back to the other things we tried talking about either.
So the next videos you see, we're going to be reading the Bible and whatnot and talking about God. So that's what's up. And we're going to get on out of here. We want you to know that we do love you. We hope you stick around for that. We're going to have fun with it. And
shimmy our way out of here.
Shimmy our way out of here.
You're welcome.
I got them
You're always welcome to come here.
Yeah, you can sit with us anytime.
Yeah.
All right. We love you.
Bye.
Bye.